Something that good writers do is before they start writing, they fill out a graphic organizer. This is something that helps writers kind of put their thoughts in order before they write. Sometimes writers like to use words in their graphic organizer, and sometimes they like to draw pictures, and sometimes they like to do both. Before we complete this document, let's look at how to open it. We'll find it on the menu screen marked as the day, for example, Tuesday, and marked as Retell GO. The word Go is like a nickname for graphic organizer. Let's click it to open. We have three boxes. We have a box that says in the beginning, a box that says in the middle, and a box that says in the end. This kind of helps us look at the three important parts of the story. In each box, there's also a story element that we need to write about. In the beginning, good writers usually talk about the characters and the setting of their story. In the middle, good writers like to talk about the problem. And at the end, good writers like to talk about the solution, how the problem was fixed. Let's start off by writing our name. Oops. And the date. We've talked about how to write the date in words and how to write it in numbers. You can pick if you want to write it in words or if you want to write it in numbers. This is definitely an assignment that you want to make the screen bigger for so that you have lots of room for your drawing in words. In the beginning of Pat the Cat, we know that Pat and Cat were outside playing. So I'm going to draw a picture of my cat. His name's Pat. Give him a little body and some feet. And you can't forget his tail. And I think Pat's a pretty happy person, so I'm going to give him a smiley face and some whiskers. And Dog is also coming to play with him. Give Dog some feet and a nice little body and his little tail. And I think Dog's pretty happy to see Cat too, so I'm going to give him a smiley face too. And I like to use a lot of details, and I hope you do too, so I'm going to give Dog some spots. Okay. Now, something that good writers do, even when they're drawing to organize their idea, they like to write labels. So I'm going to draw my labels so that the reader knows who I'm talking about, or who's who. Now, good writers like to draw pictures to organize their ideas. Sometimes they like to write, and some like to do both. We're going to practice both. So in the beginning, Pat and Dog played outside. This little box down here can kind of be like a little checkbox. I wrote about my characters, Pat and Dog, and I wrote about the setting outside. Our next box in the middle talks about the problem. We know that Dog stepped on a thorn when he was in a bush. That's no fun. Sometimes little branches are sticking out. Draw a dog's paw here. Looks like he's sad because he stepped on this paw. Thorn, sorry. I'm going to remember to do my labels. In the middle, dog stepped on a thorn. That's not a very good T. On a thorn. Period. My last box, oops, I forgot to check off that I wrote about the problem. Our last box is the solution. This is where Pat helps him out. Remember to even do my labels. It's not a very good A. And I'm going to draw a dog with a smile again because it looks like Pat helped him get the thorn out. Pat took out the thorn. Now we've organized all the big details from our story. This last box says, what was the story mostly about? This is where we think about what we were supposed to learn from the story. I think that it's nice to help friends. In class we talk about being bucket fillers. I think that when Pat took the thorn out for Dog, he was a really good friend. Once you're done, you can hit the done button up here at the top and it will come to me to grade.